Just switch on my microphone here. Can everybody hear me okay? Am I coming through clear? Hi, everybody. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, great. All right. So if you can't hear me, it's not me, it's you. And I am joined by my cat here today. I'm hoping that she just sits down instead of tries to like knock me down, which is what she likes to do. Yes, you do. Yeah. So let's give it a second for people to join on, and I will tell you the tale of how I've like nearly like ruined my channel with this Icelandic banana saga series that I've been posting recently. Things are not, they did not go according to plan. And okay, let's make sure my cat is comfortable first. Is that okay? Yeah, why don't you sit down? Yes, there you go. Have a seat. No. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully she calms down, because whenever I do a live stream, if you've watched them recently, she just like goes for the face and tries to knock me down, and it's become a problem. And this is what's happened just recently. Originally she was pretty chill. She wouldn't like get like so crazy intense, but since I've been spending more time at home with in the pandemic and everything, I've been working from home a lot more often. She's gotten a little too comfortable. I think now it's like anytime I'm doing anything, she's like all in my business. It's made recording videos pretty difficult, but adorable at least, right? So let's okay, we got some people watching. Got over 200 people. Well, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining. Uh and yeah, on a title that is kind of a downer. So let me tell you the story. What's going on here? So I decided to make a very large video about my trip to Iceland, specifically about the Icelandic banana. So I heard about it and how it is grown in Iceland using geothermal activity. And I think the first thing to kind of like point out here of like how things went wrong is, well, first let me talk about like how I know they're going wrong. See, like on YouTube, if you have posted any videos yourselves, you probably know this, but whenever I post a video, YouTube gives me a ranking of that video compared against my past videos. And it'll do it with like the most recent 10. So if I post a video and is doing really well, it will say this video is number 1 at this point in time compared to the other 10. So it'll be like, you look at it after an hour and like it'll say the views that you got for this video are more than any other views that you've had over the past 10 videos after an hour. And then after, 2 hours, it might change. After a day, it might change. And generally it keeps fairly stable. So when I post something, like after like a few hours, that's where it's going to be for a while. And you can kind of see like how it's ranking compared to your other videos. And if something's number 1, that's right out of the bat, that's something special, and that's like the big videos I've done in the past have been like that. Like the Cloudberry was like that. And some of the bigger ones like have been like that. The Mountain Sup, where it's like all slimy, like that was number 1. Sometimes I can see from the beginning when I post it, oh, okay, this is going to do well. And sometimes it's things that I kind of expect, like when I work really hard on something, it'll be number 1, and that makes sense. Other times it's surprising. It'll be something that I just put out as like a filler episode, or like I didn't put that much effort into it. Sometimes those rank really high. like the pomelo episode. When I did one on the pomelo a while back, and I didn't expect that to do well. You know, it's just a pomelo. I mean, you can get them pretty much anywhere. It's not especially rare or anything, but I think because it's something that people are maybe searching for more, or it's a little bit more in the consciousness, like people know about pomelo a little bit more. That one did really well, right out of the back, number one, and it consistently did well. And it's like one of the more popular videos that I posted in recent months. Sometimes it's a surprise. Other times, things don't rank number one. You know, more often than not, they're going to be ranking, you know, in the middle. You know, it'll be like 4, 5, 6. It'll be kind of like average. That's kind of like, okay, that's fine. And then other times, it goes 10. It'll be like 10 out of 10. This is one of the worst things you've made in the past 2 months. Those are the kind of numbers I've been getting with the Icelandic banana saga. The first one I posted actually did okay, you know, and it's still doing okay. Because if you haven't watched them, this is going to be a 6-part series. And the first one I did, like I started with a bang. Like I put a lot of effort into that. And that one, when I posted it, was I think number 6 on my ranking. And I'm like, well, okay, like this doesn't have to be amazing. This doesn't have to be like the best thing in the world. Like if it's 6, okay, that's fine. And thankfully, like over time, it's climbed up the ranking. So it right now is actually number 1 out of the past 10 videos I've posted. The first part of the Icelandic banana series is number 1. And it's like, great. That's what I wanted. It's doing all right. But with how I've done this is I've kind of set myself up for failure. And each video since the first one has been dropping severely. So like part 1 is like over 100,000 views. It's real good. Part 2 is 20,000 views. Not so great. Part 3 is like, I think like 11,000. That's not good for me. You know, usually when I post a video, I'll hit 11,000 with an average video. That's normal. I mean, I know for some channels like that's great. And for me, like years ago, like that was great. But for the past few years, that's all right. You know, like 11,000, it's all right. It could be better. And then the last one I posted, part 4, got number 10, like straight out of the bank, just like number 10, and worse than anything I posted view wise in the past 2 months. Over 2 months, it was dead bottom. And considering that these videos are extremely hard to make, and I've been working on them for like 7 months now. You know, I started researching the geothermal energy and the bananas and everything before I went to Iceland. I went there in June, I think, June or July. I'd already been researching for months before I went. And then I filmed. And then when I got back, I immediately started working on it. You know, doing more researching, filming B-roll, doing some stop motion animation, which you've been noticing, which takes a lot of time to do. I've been putting like my soul into these videos. And 10. Also, it's been expensive too, which I won't go too much into, but like it does cost money to do this. So it's like, you know, it's a loss in like many different ways, like the effort, and for it to be number 10 out of 10 is I can't lie, it hurt. Like seeing that, it really hurt. And you know, I'm not like a view hog. You know, like if this channel like doesn't like do super well, like I'm okay with that. Like I don't like YouTube channels that have like sold out, you know, where they do like all these little tricks and stuff like that to try to get views, where it's like like I'm not doing like ASMR. I'm not just like cutting things with a hot knife, things that are like visual and give you that little rush when you see it. Like there's a lot of YouTube kind of centers on that. And even channels that are perfectly fine, like totally honest channels that have good content, they'll still employ kind of like tricks that I don't like zooming the camera in and out and doing a lot of cutaways and a lot of like, I feel like I don't like videos that are overproduced. And like I'm accepting of the fact that like my videos will probably never be huge for that reason. I'm never going to get like millions of subscribers because like I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to like play into that sort of thing. And I'm grateful with like how well the channel's been doing, considering that I kind of do avoid that. Like I will make a thumbnail that is appealing to click on, but I'm not going to like outright deceive people. Like I try not to like, think too much. I still kind of like want to have like a punk kind of sensibility to making these videos. So if I don't get a lot of views on something, that's fine. And I'll make videos that I know are not going to do well, but are fun. Like if you watched any of my fake milk face-off videos, which took so much time to do, and nobody watched them except the few people that did, and those people loved them, and I appreciated everyone who did watch those. But like that was for me, and I'm totally fine with that. I'm fine with making videos that like I know are not going to do super well. But in the case of this banana series, I was expecting it to do well. I really was. And the first part did kind of like meet those expectations, but everything else, I'm like, oh no, like this is bad. Like the views are really low. And still, I thought about it and I'm like, you know what? That's okay. Like this doesn't have to get a ton of views. And the people who are watching it really like it. And that's fine. Like I'm okay with making content that is going to get low views but a lot of respect. Like that's fair. Like okay, so part 4 only got 6,000 views. It's not great, but every comment I have on there pretty much is I love this. This is great. Keep doing this. So that keeps me going. But it got to the point, and each part was kind of like I was thinking that as things started dropping, I was like, well, that's fine. I don't need a lot of views. Like this is for the people who enjoy it. That's okay. But when part 4 came out and it was like the lowest video views that I've had in months, I'm starting to think, okay, this is bad. This is going to kill my channel because with how the YouTube analytics work, if you produce a lot of low viewership content in a row, you start tanking. Like that, YouTube's algorithm will see that and be like, oh, this guy who was producing content that was getting like these sorts of views now is not. And every video he's putting out for several in a row are really, really low. We're not going to pay attention to them anymore. We're not going to pay attention to this channel. We're going to start ranking it lower and stop recommending this channel. That's something that happens. So if I continue, I kind of like came to the decision, like if I continue to post the videos that I am doing in Iceland the way that I have been, it's going to cause irreparable damage to my channel. Okay, maybe I'm being like a little dramatic by saying it's going to kill my channel. It's not going to like be deleted. It's just going to cause damage to my channel that will probably take a very long time for me to recover. And I'm not okay with that. And if that's not enough about it, it's like I am probably going to if I keep doing what I'm doing and keep posting these videos like every week, like I've been doing, it's going to cause irreparable damage to my channel. And also, I've been working my head off trying to get these videos done. So I like have this little image in my head of me just like racing, rushing, working so hard, just like pumping away, just like I'm like trying to win this marathon. But the finishing line is like a wall. Like I'm working really hard in order to hurt myself. And it just seems like a crazy thing to do. So I'm not going to keep posting videos about the Icelandic saga this way. I'm going to continue to post them. I've already been working on them a lot. And I'm going to keep posting them. But I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to take a little break from doing this in order to kind of like build up my numbers a little bit. That way I don't kill my channel. Or at least I don't like cause serious harm to the future health of my channel in the YouTube algorithm. So yeah, that's what's going to happen going forward. I think what I can do is maybe post like every other week or something, or maybe and see how that goes. Like I only have 2 more parts, but because it's all like everything is so fixated on just being Iceland, that that's going to work against me. So I think what I'm going to do is so for those that don't know, like every Sunday I post a fruit video, and that has been replaced by the Icelandic Banana Saga, a 6-part series about how the Icelandic banana is grown. And every Wednesday is like a grab bag video of like whatever. But I've been posting things that have to do with Iceland, like junk food that I've had, trying. I most recently tried some natural groundwater and stuff like that. Like they've been Iceland videos, just like kind of like side quests to the main banana series. So I'm going to keep posting Iceland videos on Wednesdays that are not part of the banana saga, the 6-part series. They're going to be focusing on snacks, plants, other things that I've found in Iceland. So there will be, every week something about Iceland. Because that's where I am right now. I'm kind of like want to keep that chapter of the Icelandic videos that I did. And then on not this Sunday. This Sunday I don't know what I'm going to put. This decision just kind of like happened. But I think this Sunday I'll probably post a regular fruit review. And then maybe the following week I will do another banana saga video and see how that does. I think maybe this needs a little time to refresh in between each part in order to keep those numbers happy, because with how I'm doing it, each video that I post is going to be less than the one before it, because these videos are in a sequence. They're in parts. So when you watch one, YouTube is not going to recommend it so much. People are not going, because people won't watch it unless they've already seen the other parts. So because of that, part 1's going to do the best. Part 2 will be a little bit less, and it's going to kind of trickle down. So that means that part 4 did so poorly. Part 5 is going to do even worse. So I need to give some time. That way, the numbers from part 4 can kind of build up a little bit. More people can kind of get into the series. So when part 5 comes out, it's not going to be super low. By then, more people will be kind of like on board, I hope. Yeah, it's a hard, it's a hard sell, to put out a video. And if you haven't seen part 1 through 4, you're not going to watch number 5. And I think part of the reason of, I know that I'm talking a lot about this, but it's been on my mind, guys. this is something that's been pecking at me for a while, and like this past Sunday when that went number 10 out of 10, I was just like, yeah, it's been on my mind. Like, how am I going to fix this? And I think this is the way. Spacing it out is the way to do it. I think that will drive things up. And I kind of am kicking myself a little bit because the original idea was this was going to be one video. It was going to be like one feature length documentary style video, like probably an hour and a half long. You know, it's 6 parts. Each part is like between 10 and like 20 minutes. So, you know, it's just about feature length. And it was going to be one video. And I think if I did that, if I put it all out at once, this would have done really, really well. But I didn't. I didn't do that. And the reason why I didn't do that is I've been really busy, which I'm going to get into in a little bit. I'm not just going to talk about this banana video today. I have other more pleasant things to talk about. But I think because I set this up to be one video and then I broke it apart, and also because those parts are kind of not fruit focused. They're like a tangent of the fruit. They're not like, you know, like this channel is about me traveling around the world eating fruit. And people who are here to watch that can be turned off because they're going to turn on the video and be like, okay, where's the fruit? And, you know, people in the series, like, even though like it's clearly the production values in it are like much higher, people are still putting like the time code to where I start talking about the banana. Like, skip to 10 minutes in where he finally starts talking about the banana. It's like, okay, some people, they just want to watch me eat fruit. And I think most people are not like that. They want more context than that. But you know, the algorithm is not speaking kindly to me when that second part or third part doesn't really have much to do with fruit at all on the surface. You know, it does. Like, the whole point of the series is not to take a banana and review it. It's to kind of explain just like how amazing it is that banana exists in the first place. Because the banana itself is just a Cavendish banana. You know, like, you know what it tastes like, but how it's grown in like the most unlikely place is really impressive. It's really interesting. So it's not a typical sort of video, which I think, you know, like, I'm sure most people watching this, like, you're watching a live stream, you're on board, you know, and if I put it out as one video into the world, a lot of people I think would be on board. But because I broke it up and each video is not, you know, it's not really with that focus. It's kind of like leading up to like one big picture at the end. That doesn't work. And I decided to break it up because I had too much going on. Like, I wasn't going to be able to get it done in time to be episode 600. Just, it was important to me. Like, I want this to be a big one. And the only way to do that was to break it up. And I've seen other channels do that, like post, you know, series where it's in parts and do really well. So I was like, I can do that too. It works for some people. And apparently not. It apparently doesn't work for me. Not with this particular sort of storyline, because it delineates too much from the focus once you hit part 2. You know, part 1, I think, is really strong for this channel. But part 2, it starts going to the side too much. So I think in order to do this properly, it should have been one video, and I didn't do that. And I'm going to remember that for next time. You know, the only other time I've done this was the Coco de Mer. And I did a 5-part series on the Coco de Mer. And that one, it did a lot better, but it didn't sidestep as much as the banana. You know, it was still fairly focused on the same subject. And I think that's why that one did okay, That one I never had posted one. It was like 10 out of 10. You're doing bad. It was like always. I mean, it kind of dipped off part by part. So part 5 didn't do as well as part 4, and part 4 didn't do as well as 3, etc. But it never dipped off like as severely as this series is. So, whoops, I kind of messed up. But I don't think that this is going to be irreparably damaging my channel, provided I do make these changes. And I think I can save it. I think this series can still do well because the feedback I've gotten, the responses I've gotten have been so positive. And thank you everybody who's watched it and left comments and said good things to me, because that is what has kind of been keeping me going. Because putting out a video and it just being like totally like trashed by the algorithm from the get-go it kind of saps your spirit. If I did that and also got a bunch of troll comments at the same time, I might be like, all right, well, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. Screw this. I'm going to do something else. But you guys have kept me going. So thank you if you've had positive feedback, and if you've been watching and everything. That really does help motivate me to keep things like this going. I'm not doing this really, for the views, but like I am also conscious of like what sort of damage something like this can do if I don't handle it correctly. I don't want to hurt my channel. Like, I'm okay with making something that isn't going to be viewed by a million people, but I also don't want to cause any long-lasting damage to the channel. Want to keep things healthy, but also still kind of take some chances along the way. In this case, yeah, I'm gonna change things. So I'm sorry if you guys have been like waiting with bated breath for part 5 to come out. It will come out probably not this Sunday, but the following Sunday. Maybe the one after that. And the other good thing with that is that this will also give me more time to work on these videos. Because honestly, it's been really hard. Like, I've been putting a lot of work into them. And I'm sure you can, if you've watched these videos, you can see that this is not your standard review. Like, this has been taking a lot of time to edit and do voiceovers and find visuals and all of that. I mean, I've been doing stop motion animation, guys. And every time you see like 5 seconds of stop motion animation, that's me moving some little thing for like 3 hours to get that 10 seconds. Like, it's a lot of work, but it's fun. So I want to keep doing that. I want to keep putting a lot of work into it. And I think having more time, I'm not going to be racing so much, and I think that'll be good for me. It'll be good for the videos. It'll be good for you. It'll make it better in the end. And I think what I might do actually after all of this, after I've released all the parts, and trust me, guys, it gets really good. Part 5 is where it kind of like all comes back together too. It's like where it starts going more into the banana and starts like wrapping things up. So I want to make sure those things kind of hit the ground running, which is kind of hard to do at this point, but I'm going to do that. And then once that's all done, I'm going to probably release it all as one big part at some point in the future. And I think that is probably going to be the thing that does well. These parts separated, I think that might have been a mistake. But when I post it again in the future all together, still watch them. Don't wait for the big thing altogether, because that's going to be a while. That's going to be a while till I do that. But when that does happen, I think that's going to probably do really well, even though I already kind of screwed it up with this. All right. I'm done talking about the Icelandic banana saga. Unless I have some questions about it, I saw a few questions go by, a few super chats. So thank you very much, everybody who's done a super chat. I'm going to answer super chats, and if you ask me a super chat question, I will 100% comment on it. And if you send if you don't want to do a super chat, that's okay. You don't have to give me your money. You can leave a regular question too. That's just, I'm not gonna be able to get to everybody. And I want to be polite to those who have done super chats. So let's see. There's a few of them. Okay, Tampa Terry 54 said what my favorite Residents album is. Well, that is my favorite kind of question. For those that don't know, the Residents are an incredible band that are very, very obscure. They are anonymous. Like, people don't know who they are. They most famously had like eyeball heads on to kind of obscure their face. So if you've seen that image, that's for the most common image of the Residents. But even though they're like really obscure and they're anonymous, they've been around since the 70s and they're still going now. I mean, I guess it probably helps that they're anonymous because they can probably swap people out. I don't know if the Residents now is the same as the Residents from, like 1976. But either way, they're really, really good, but challenging because they have like a million albums. And some of the albums are just like really avant-garde, just like noise and like weird things or strange covers and squeaky voices. There's some weird stuff in there. But if you take the time to like dig through the albums of the Residents, there's gold in that pile. There's gold in that pile. And I say my favorite album, and this is like, if you want to listen to the Residents and you don't know where to start, Animal Lover. Animal Lover is the best, in my opinion. It's weird, but it is also very listenable. You don't have to be in like a mood where you like want to hear something like totally out there, like some of their other albums. It's not like some of the spoken word stuff. You got to be in the right kind of mood for that. Like this one is like I could turn that album on any day, and it's high quality stuff, and it's one that's like not one that people talk about quite so much. So, yeah, Animal Lover by the Residents. If you want to listen to some good music that's weird, that's the one to do. And thank you for that question. Thanks for indulging me in talking about this band that I like that very few people have heard of. Okay, so we've got more super chats. Let's... I've got some comments about the Lahal t-shirt. Yeah, Lahal is the former restaurant that Anthony Bourdain was the chef of. And this, I wish I could say this is an original from when Lahal actually existed, because it's closed now. It's a New York City, formerly was a New York City restaurant. But this is a reproduction, unfortunately. But they made it look kind of vintage. I love this shirt. Anthony Bourdain, R.I.P. Okay, we've got second attempt at super chat by Atlas Altira. I sent $15 above, but didn't type anything. Oh, well, thank you very much. And thanks for sending another one. If you, and for anybody else, like, I will get to your super chat. Like, I'll dig until I find it. I think. I'll at least take a strong effort to find it. But you didn't. But you said Atlas Altira said you didn't type anything. Would I consider starting a series on staple starches? You have a spreadsheet. That is interesting. I think I'm not going to do a series specifically about staple starches, but it is something that I would like to talk about on the channel. Like, I do have a channel, or not a channel, but a series called Amazing Plants, which I've talked about some of the staple starches on. And for those that don't know, like staple starches are like foods that sustain societies. Like potatoes are staple starch, like wheat. Breadfruit is one. Like, people can need that kind of staple food to keep them going. And it's really interesting, especially when you get into like some of like the less common ones. Like, there's some like weird roots and stuff that people will eat. And some are really tricky to find, but I think that would be something I would like to discuss as part of the Amazing Plants series. I don't think I could do like an entire side series because it would be too difficult for me to get my hands on them. You know, because some of them it's like you got to go into like the rainforest of Laos where they have like this one root and they have to prepare it this special way. It's like, all right, well, I can't do that. I can't find it. It's I think it'll be too tricky to make it a series because I'd want to be kind of consistent. But I will definitely be talking more about those in coming episodes of Weird Fruit Explorer and Amazing Plants. But great question, and thank you for the super chats. Whoa, okay. More. I just looked down at my computer here, and there are big super chats. One here is by Bill Thames. Thank you very much. Very generous of you. No question. Just keep up the good work. Well, thank you, Bill. Really appreciate that. Appreciate the donation there too. Vichu, do you ever think about evil alternate reality, Jared, who is a weird animal explorer, and instead of reviewing fruits, is reviewing animals? I have thought about that. I am a vegetarian, so I don't eat animals, but with how my mind works, if I ate meat, I'd be eating some weird animals. I mean, I'd be wanting to do it in a way that's not like a Captain Planet villain, if possible, but it definitely would kind of pique my interest. Be like, huh, what does an elephant taste like? Huh? Like, I obviously there's a lot of problems with that, but if I ate meat, I'd probably be thinking that. I also don't drink, and I think it's probably good that I don't, because if I did drink, I'd be like trying to drink like everything. Be like, oh, okay, this is like some wine made out of like I'm trying to come up with something weird to say. Some wine made out of that's people do that. People make alcohol. I'm trying to like come up with something weird to say, but I'm like potatoes. No, people make alcohol out of potatoes. People make alcohol out of everything. And that's the problem because there's like so much with it. I would become like a terrible drunk after just, starting a series on that without much time. But yeah, that's like how my mind works is I'm kind of like a completionist. Before I did the fruit series, I was doing this with soda. I was not reviewing, but just for my own enjoyment. I was trying regional sodas like Moxie. Moxie's really good, by the way, and Verner's and Cheerwine, and it's all these like regional drinks that you can only get if you go to like one state in the United States. And it ended up making me feel kind of sick after a while because I was drinking like so much like corn syrup. But so I kind of had to stop doing that. But like, yeah, that's I kind of have like this addictive sort of personality. Fruit is a healthier way of doing it. Trust me. Faname, thank you very much for the super chat. Just because you don't eat animals doesn't mean you can't taste them. Cats taste people all the time. I could go around and just like lick a hippopotamus or something, but I think that's probably going to be more harmful to me than if I ate the hippopotamus meat. I think I'm afraid I can't do that, but good observation. Let's see here. What else do we have here? I know I missed a few other super chats. Dan IRL Gooch, maybe consider making a fruit iceberg video. I can make an entertaining one. Yeah. I have seen like 2 videos like that, and I was entertained. So I'm not sure exactly how the whole iceberg thing works. Like it's like a video where you kind of like show like what people know at the top, and then it gets more obscure as you go further on. Yeah, I could probably do that with fruit, right? Start with like, let's talk about like apples at the top and like oranges and like whatever. And you start going down the species into like the really weird, like wild versions of them. Or yeah, that's something to consider. That's a good suggestion. WJM, no comment, but a super chat. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that, WJM. Let's see. This is not a super chat, but I do want to answer a few questions that aren't super chats. Did I show how to make licorice, or did I only review the candies? That came from Avi Cohen. I only had the candies. It is on my list, though, of something to do in the future would be to actually get licorice root and see if I can make licorice out of it. It's got to be, or at least do something with it. I've seen licorice root for sale before, but I've never bothered picking it up. I think that would be a good Amazing Plants episode to get licorice or get a licorice root and actually make something out of it. All right, let's see any other super chats that I missed. Give me 1 second, guys. Savi Teets said, if a pirate wants the booty, he needs to keep his content fruity. It's true. It's true. You gotta stay focused on that fruit content. Candace was here. Said, thank you for the super chat, Candace. Breadfruit Revisited. Here's a better way of cooking it than the old video. I have one already filmed. Great suggestion. Because years ago, this is back in 2013, I think. One of the earliest channel episodes that I did was on the breadfruit, where I cook it on the stove. And I got just brutalized in the comments. So many people were like, you're doing it wrong. How can you do it on the stove? You're embarrassing the people of my country. And oh, the comments on that video. If you want to see people leaving a lot of mean comments, go to the breadfruit video. People were not happy that I cooked the breadfruit on the stove. I took a breadfruit, I cut slices in it, I just put it on the burner and turned it on. Not because I'm trying to be creative, but because I saw a video of a guy in Jamaica doing it that way, like a Jamaican dude. They're like, this is how I do it to replicate putting in the fire, just how to roast it you normally would roast it in the fire. And I was like, that looks like a fun way of doing it. Let me try that. Shouldn't have tried it. Because that people were not happy with that. However, there's so much negativity in that video that people are hate watching it, and it did really well. So that video has been suggested a lot. It's got really good views on it, but I think all for the wrong reason. So I would like to make a video. I did make a video. I just haven't posted it yet, where I take breadfruit and I prepare it in many different ways. So that will be coming up in the future. I don't think I have time to do it for this Sunday, but coming up in the future, because I do it I think 5 different ways of preparing breadfruit. Some of them not so normal, some of them very traditional, and just kind of comparing it to how I did it the original time on the stove. So good suggestion, and already on it. Okay, let's see. Let's see here. I think I missed some more. Oh, Candace had another thing. Heck yeah, my neighborhood grocery sells breadfruit, and it's my favorite kind of baked potato. Yeah, if you could find a breadfruit, they're a fun one to play with. They're kind of like potato. They've got a similar taste, but they also have little vegetal kind of note to it. So it's somewhere between a potato and a squash, but it works really well. Frying a breadfruit is really nice. That's probably my favorite way of doing it. Phoenix Soy gave a super chat. Thank you very much, Phoenix. Have I heard of lamb quarters? Seeds being roasted and used as a coffee substitute. You're hoping to try it. I have not heard of that. I've had lamb's quarters. Lamb's quarters are all over the place in New York City. Is a landscaping sort of plant. We're not landscaping. I think it's just brought over by birds. It's just all over the place, and you can pick it and cook it like a spinach. Tastes just like spinach. except the ground in New York City is a little not so great. So it's probably not super good to eat lamb's quarters that are grown in New York City. But I did not know that about the seeds. Maybe I'll cover that in the future. I've never talked about lamb's quarters on the channel before. That'd be cool to talk about too. So maybe a little bit of the leaves, a little bit of the seeds. That'd be neat. Oh, Miranda Mom, thank you very much. Appreciate that, Miranda Mom. That is very generous of you. And Miranda Mom always leaves fantastic comments on my videos, and I appreciate that. Keeps me going. Monty, thank you for the super chat. You asked, when is the Ketchup Chronicles coming back? Maybe that'll be the next one I post. I'm trying to think of like what to post on Sunday, but it's got to be one that I already have recorded. I don't have anything in the bank on the Ketchup series. And for those that are new here, I make ketchup out of things that are not tomatoes. Follow the same sort of recipe that you would use with tomatoes to make ketchup, but instead I'll like use a mango or something. So the next one that I want to do is going to be pineapple ketchup. I think that'll be really good, but haven't filmed it yet. I've just been like way too busy. Okay, I want to get caught up on the super chats, and I do have a few other things to talk about, but I don't want to miss anybody here. Okay. Let's see here. There it is. Okay. All right. I know this is thrilling content, guys. Almost caught up. Almost there. I talked for a really long time about the bananas, and I let several super chats kind of fly by. That's all I'm seeing. I don't think they're going to let me see any of the earlier super chats. So if I didn't answer one of yours, I apologize. If I didn't answer your super chat, but yeah, I think maybe a couple of them flew by. But thank you for everybody who's given you the super chat. Really appreciate that. Someone asked, I just lost the name. Let me see if I could find it. Okay. Jonold asks, do you know banana ketchup? I made banana ketchup. Banana ketchup is something that's really popular in the Philippines. They'd follow the same sort of recipe that you would follow to make ketchup using tomatoes, but instead use a banana. And oddly, it tastes very similar to the ketchup that has tomatoes in it. Like banana ketchup tastes very similar to tomato ketchup, oddly. And I think the reason for that is that the bananas that are used are not ripe bananas. They are like a little bit underripe Saba bananas, which are a little bit more like a plantain. So you end up getting like the spices and the onions and stuff without the tomato taste, and but no tomatoes. You use bananas, and it still kind of tastes like ketchup. It's really interesting. And people put it on spaghetti, which is not really my cup of tea, but I've had it, and it's kind of interesting. I think that's something that Moo said, thank you for the super chat, Moo. My ferret is attacking my foot. Well, I'm sorry about that. Maybe after a little while, your ferret will sit down like my cat here, who has taken a nap, and then it'll be all worthwhile. Okay, I think I'm caught up with the super chats. Let me take a sip of water here. That was a lot of super chats, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you for all the good questions and all your generosity. Okay, I'm looking at my little cheat sheet here. Okay. Coming up on the channel pretty soon, I am going to be posting videos from a trip that I took. That I think I mentioned that I was going to go on this trip last time I did a stream. But I went to Mexico and I went to Colombia. Not for very long. I was performing on a cruise ship, and they ported there. So I had like a few hours in each country. So not very long. But of course, naturally, if I have only like 6 hours in a country, where am I going to go? The market. So like I went to the market, found some fruit, went back on the ship, moving on. So I didn't have a ton of time, but I do have maybe like 6, 7 videos coming up from Mexico and from Colombia. And what's great about it is that, I've been to Mexico and I've been to Colombia, but when I was there, uh, I didn't really know nearly as much about fruit as I know now. So I passed by things that I didn't review because I didn't know what they were or I didn't know how to use them. So this time I went back kind of with a purpose, like I'm going to find these things. So I didn't have a lot of time, but I was kind of focused on finding a few things. I found them, I reviewed them, so I can finally like scratch those off my list because I was kind of like kicking myself that I went to these countries and found fruit that I did not pick up, and then I came back to the U.S. Like the first time I went to Colombia, I passed by a bunch of fruit that I didn't review. And I should have. I just didn't know any better at the time. So I managed to go back and kind of like redeem myself. So some cool ones will be coming up. One of them is the corozo, which is like a little fruit that I bought it in Colombia, but I couldn't eat it because you got to prepare it. So I managed to find it again, and I found some restaurant that made a juice out of it. So that's one of them. I don't want to give too much away. There's a few of them. So that's going to be coming up soon, and I'm also probably going to do this cruise again for work, and I'll probably hopefully find a little bit more the next time I go. So not like a huge series or anything, but I think it's a satisfying one because they're things that I have like a little bit of a history with already. I just saw a few super chats fly through there. Gregory Alfaro says I should try a peyote fruit. Peyote has fruit with seeds. You know what? I would. I don't. I don't think peyote fruit is it's not the hallucinogenic part. People eat the actual bud of it. I think like the plant of it. So I think the fruit doesn't make you trip out, or if it does, not nearly as much. So I would totally try that. Maybe very cautiously and not enough to like make myself, start seeing, animals talking to me or anything. But it would be cool to try. So maybe in the future I'll be able to find that somehow legally and get to try it. I did try a few other. I mean, I've never done a drug in my life. Don't drink, none of that stuff. But I have reviewed coca. I've reviewed betel nut, and I did not review it myself, but I traveled with my buddy Steven, who tried cat or chat. I don't know how to say it. That one's a dangerous one. What else? Coca and coca leaves and the fruit, and cola nut is another one. There's a lot of things I've had that they're not great for you. They are or not that they're not great, but they are a drug. They like alter you in some sort of way. If there's a fruit involved, I'll probably review it in some fashion on this channel at some point, provided I can find it legally. Ann Bells, thank you very much. That's very generous of you, Ann. Really appreciate that. Misfit Fox, this is not a super chat. If you don't have to give me money, guys, if you want to do if you want to ask a question. It's just excuse me. If you ask a question without a super chat, I will probably not be able to answer all of them, but I will answer a few as I go along. Misfit Fox asked what my cat's name is. My cat's name is Vostok. She's right here. She's named after the coldest place on Earth, which is in Antarctica. And also, it's the name of the first manned space shuttle to go into space. It's Vostok. I think it means east in Russian. Okay. Another super chat went by. Stephen West said, please do a video standing on fruits in bare feet ASMR. No. Sorry. Oh, where did that go? Oh, okay. Oh, there it is. Okay. Mike said, thank you for all the entertainment over the years. Keep it up. Thank you very much, Mike. Appreciate that. Did you know, guys, I'm approaching 10 years of making content on this channel. 10 years. That'll be in November. Will mark the 10-year anniversary of this channel. Isn't that crazy? I started doing this in November of 2012. I can't even believe it. I had no idea. No idea. Okay, that would be going on for this long, or that anybody be watching at all when I started this channel. But I think I'm gonna do something special for the 10-year anniversary. I've got something planned, but I haven't fully fledged the whole thing out in my mind. But got something brewing in my mind for the 10-year anniversary. But that'll be coming up later this year, or maybe early next year, because I started filming the videos in November. I don't think I posted any videos until early 2023. So maybe I'll do the same. I'll film in 2022 November, and I'll post it next. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Okay. All right. Other things to discuss. I'm moving. That's a big one. Yeah, I'm going to be moving soon. And I'm not moving far away. I'm still going to be in New York City. I'm just moving to a bigger place. And that's going to mean a few changes. I don't know what the setup's going to look like. It's probably going to be a little bit different when I'm filming. And it also is part of the reason why I said earlier that I've been working really hard with the banana video, and why I had to break it up into parts and I couldn't do it all as one video, is that I've been busy. I've been busy preparing my new home. I've been painting and fixing things and trying to get everything ready for the move. So I should be moving probably at the end of this month. If all goes accordingly, I should be moving pretty soon. So there should be a few little changes going forward on the channel. I might still film here at this place for a bit, but this is a co-op. It's not an apartment, so I'm going to have to sell this place. I guess is going to be the next step. So I'm gonna have a lot of things to do going in the future. So on like a personal note, yeah, big changes happening in my life. I'm going to be moving to a bigger place, and yeah, I'm excited, really excited about it. It's been a lot of work getting everything together. I've been spending like full days just like renovating this new place, but it's going to be a change for the better for sure. A bigger place in NYC, $$ says Info Warrior. Yeah. I mean, it's not a huge step up, but it is a step up. So, like the thing with New York City, it's all about location, and where I live right now is probably, square foot by square foot is probably worth a little bit more than my place that I'm moving to, because like where I am right now is a little bit more of a desirable area. But for my purposes, I'd rather be at the new place. So I'm excited about it, and yeah, we'll talk more about that in the future. But you may notice a few changes on the channel. That's because yeah, life's getting busy around here. Life's getting busy. Okay. I can't say that name because I do have I used to swear more on this channel. Like if you watch the earlier videos, I may drop a profanity here and there, but I've tried not to, because I realize that a lot of kids watch my series. So now like I still will do things that are pretty immature, and sometimes I swear if I need to, but I've tried to kind of like tone it down. So I can't say your name, expletive sandwich versus giant expletive. But that is a good question. Have I ever considered making a parallel channel with cooking ideas or recipes? You seem to like doing it, and we like watching you cook. Do it. You have an audience. Um, that is an idea that I've had, not specifically for cooking, but just in general, having a different channel. That's the advice that people have given me, like other more successful YouTubers, is that if you have a series, it should be one channel per series. And if you have another idea, that should be a different channel. It's not good to cross them. The problem I have is that I'm only one guy, so like the idea of creating another channel and having to kind of like feed that channel content to keep it going and have it like build, I'm never going to do that. Like if I have multiple channels, I will just keep one alive and the other ones are going to die. Because like I maybe it's against my better judgment, but I like doing everything myself, which you shouldn't be doing. Like every also advice I get is like, don't do it all yourself. Like hire an assistant, hire somebody to do your social media and your like thumbnails and like your editing. I like doing it myself. To me, like I don't know, like I'm an entertainer. I consider this kind of like a similar sort of like with the same sort of brain as I do like performance. And when I do performance, I think of it as like this is my art. This is my creation. So I like to be like really hands-on with it. Like I don't like other people touching my stuff. Like every now and then I think it's okay, but like for like more technical things, but like I like to do everything myself when I can. And if I were to make another channel, I would want to do it all myself. And because of that, I wouldn't have enough time because I hardly have enough time to keep this channel going. And the new channel would just end up dying. I wouldn't be able to keep it up. So that's why I have all the series that I have right here. Because like, if you've been keeping count, we have Weird Fruit Explorer, Amazing Plants, Jared's Junk Food, the Fake Milk Face Off, That's Not Coffee, Cabinet of Curiosities. There's probably some more. I don't even remember all the series that I've made. Oh, Weird World Explorer. That was actually the original series that I was going to do on this channel that didn't take off. So I haven't made one of those. See what I mean? Like I just let it die. I just totally let it die. That's 7 series. And I'm probably forgetting some. So I'm not going to have 7 channels. I like to kind of like have it all in one place. That is, however, excuse me, I'm just getting comfortable. That is, however, a great question. So thank you very much. I have definitely considered that, but with how I do things, I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm not going to be able to keep it up. Edgar Burleyman said, "That's not coffee." See, like you have to be really like an OG subscriber to know about That's Not Coffee. Like that was from years ago, and that was a Patreon funded thing. Like I had the idea and I put it out. Like if I get enough followers on Patreon, I'm going to make another series, and I did, and I made it, and it kept going for like years. And then what unfortunately happened is I was doing it with 2 friends of mine, Stu and Elbow, and they ended up moving. So it just didn't feel the same doing it on my own. So every now and then I do review something that is like a coffee substitute. And, like it makes sense for the channel. I'll talk about it. But the idea of just like going in and picking up all the different sorts of, for those that don't know, which probably is most of you, because this was like a long time ago, I reviewed coffee alternatives. So there's like a million of them. Like people make coffee using things that are not coffee beans, and for whatever reason, for like sometimes religious reasons, sometimes health reasons, or like caffeine, and it's interesting. There's a lot of them. Necessity, like something during the war, during wars, sometimes you can't get coffee, and people would like burn like bread and make a drink out of that, just kind of satisfy themselves. It was really interesting, really, really interesting. And I think that might come back in some form in the future if it has to do with like a plant. But the series itself also dead. Maybe one day Stu and Elbow are gonna like come and visit, and I can do that. But that's unfortunately not going to be anytime soon. So, Gregory, thank you very much, Gregory. Peyote is legal in Holland and in Canada, so I should find somebody with the fruit. It's not psychoactive. You can do the history. Love your content. Thank you, Gregory. And Holland and in Canada, huh? Maybe that's how I'm going to do it. I think that it would be a really interesting one. A lot of talk about peyote, that's for sure. Will it Ketchup? Yeah, that would be to take it to the next level. Okay, John. Oh, that's another good question. Okay, I'm going to answer one more question. Then I got a little bit more business, and then we're going to call it a day. John Frostbite, what is the largest fruit that I've seen? The largest fruit, I'm pretty sure it's jackfruit. I think jackfruit is the largest tree fruit. And those guys are like this big. Seen a lot of those. Sometimes they're like really big ones. Or I guess like maybe tree fruit. Yeah, specifically tree fruit. Because I think like if you're to go like a fruit in general, it's probably be like a pumpkin, right? Because those things get like mega big. Probably the biggest fruit technically would be a big pumpkin. Tree fruit, jackfruit, about yay big. Largest nut is the Coco de Mer, which I talk about that in my Coco de Mer series. And that guy is like that big, pretty big. Not as big as a jackfruit, but quite large. Okay, Isaac, thank you very much. Just wanted to say hi. Appreciate all that you do. Thank you, Isaac. Okay, I've got a couple more orders of business. Oh, I wanted to mention that Trova Trip is still a thing. There are still seats available. If you haven't heard about this, I should maybe I'll put a link after I finish this stream. I'll put a link in the description about it, or do a search in my videos for it. But I'm doing tours in Thailand and in Vietnam, and those are going to be coming up later this year and also next year, which I posted about like a long time ago. And it's looking pretty promising. I was kind of like worried about it because of the closures due to the coronavirus. And when I posted about it originally, Thailand and Vietnam were closed. You couldn't travel there. But because things are getting a little bit better, sorry about that. Probably heard that. Because things are getting a little bit better in the world, as far as that goes, like I believe Thailand is now open. You can actually travel to Thailand, and I'm hoping that by the time these trips happen, it'll be safe to do so. So yeah, this is going to be a tour of Thailand and Vietnam where you can join me on a tour. So I'm going to go fruit hunting, try to like a cooking class, do some farm tours, a lot of cool stuff. I try to kind of keep it food and plant oriented. And I think Thailand might be completely sold out, but a few people dropped off, so it might have a few spots available now. Vietnam definitely has spots available. There's like 2 trips in Thailand and 2 trips in Vietnam, and I think they're like a week long. And I think they might all be sold out except for the final Vietnam trip, which is going to be in I think May of 2023. I should have printed this out. I should have had this available to give you like the exact details. But if you're interested in going on a trip with me, check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. And these trips are, they have like kind of like a basic itinerary of places to go, and I changed things. I was just like, well, like this thing's good, not that thing. Like, can we go? Like the Vietnam trip was when I was given different itineraries, was not even offered. Like there were trips to Vietnam, but not the areas that I wanted to go. So I really just like work things out with them to make it a trip that would be an interesting trip for you guys. So yeah, if you're interested in finding out more about that, do a search on my channel for Trova Trip. I posted it a few months back. And there are still spots available. So I think every time I do a stream, I'm probably gonna like shout that out a little bit until those completely sell out. But as of now, there are a few seats available, and they're small trips too. They're only like I think 12 people can come on a trip, and I did that because I want to keep it kind of intimate. I don't want it to be a trip where there's like you're following me through a market with 50 other people. Like it's gonna be like a little group, and we'd be able to have more like hands-on experience, trying fruit, learning cooking stuff, going to farms. It's gonna be fun. So yeah, if you're interested in that, do a search on the channel. And if I remember, I will knock over my microphone. If I remember, I will put a link to that in the description once I sign off on the stream. Yep. Maxwell said, I wish I can join, but I'm staying safe and I'm also a minor. Yeah, this is for, you have to be 18 to do it. And yeah, COVID is unfortunately still a thing. So, I am hopeful that by this point, things are going to be safe enough to do this trip. And if not, they do have a policy. So if things do need to be pushed, they will be pushed. It's something that I'm going to discuss with them if that does happen. I'm hoping it doesn't. Things are getting better. Pretty sure things are getting better. But like by the end of the year, I'm hoping that this will be, possible and in a safe way. Okay. Finally, I think that's about it. Yeah, the other thing to do with moving is I was having a sale on my shirts, and I sold a lot of them. So if you want a shirt, they are available on my website, weirdexplorer.com. And I might have to actually like increase my prices in the near future. I had this brilliant idea because like I have like an excess amount of mandrake root shirts. So I've got two designs. One has durian on it. The other one has mandrake root. And the mandrake root, I had like an excess of them, and I'm moving, and it ended up being like there's a lot of them. So I'm like, that's like boxes of shirts that I have to carry or have movers carry, which is like, it's a lot of work. I don't want to carry those boxes. So what I did is I had a sale, like a very good sale. I took $5 off on all the mandrake root shirts, and I sold a bunch, and there's still some available. A couple sizes I think are now sold out, and I'm probably gonna stop that sale by this weekend. I'm probably gonna end that because I do want to have like a few in supply, but yeah, the numbers are going pretty low on my inventory. And what I'm going to do is then when I move to my new place, I'm just going to have more shirts sent there. So instead of moving, the post office is going to move it for me. Brilliant, right? But the problem with this is that the wholesale prices on my shirts have gone up. So I might have to increase my prices. So the sale is even better now than it will be when shirts are available again. But yeah, I might find a way to keep it the same price. I'm not too sure yet, but that's going to be something for the future. But I think that is about it. I think that's all I have to say. So yeah, shirts are still on sale. There's a Trova Trip. Icelandic Banana Saga is going to be spaced out, but will still be coming out. Unfortunately, things did not go super well with that. There's going to be videos coming up from Colombia and from Mexico. That'll be exciting. I've got more travel plans coming up in the future. Provided all goes well, that should be happening. I'm moving. There's a lot going on. Things have been going crazy, guys. And yeah, it's been a couple of months and I did a live stream, so it's good to be back to do this. And yeah, let me see. I'll I'll take one more question, and if double check that I don't have any super chats that I missed, and then we're gonna sign off. I think that's it. Do comments help with the algorithm? Yes, yes. If you comment on a video, it helps. It shows engagement. Even if you put a comment that says like "I hate you," that helps me. And I've heard that even like doing a thumbs down also helps. So, I mean, I prefer to see a thumbs up, but like it does help. So, any kind of engagement is helpful. The thing that kills a video is just not watching it. So if you start a video and then X out, and you start a video and you X out, and you don't watch it all the way through, that is bad for the algorithm. That hurts videos. And I think that's probably why my Icelandic banana series has been doing so poorly, because you start a video and it's already part 3 and you didn't see part 1 and 2, you're going to X out. It damages it. It damages the algorithm. So yeah, that's if you want to help the channel, watch a video all the way to the end. that's what, not just me, but like any channel at all. Like that's the best thing you could do, is give watch time. Because you'd be surprised. We, as a creator, we have this little graph where you can see 0 to the end of the video. Let's say you've got a 10-minute video. It's like 0 to 10, and you can see where all the 100% people watching at 1 second in, and how many people are watching at the end. And there's like a little graph that goes like this on all of them. Like, a good video means that by the end of the video, you have like maybe 35% of the people watching. That's a good video. Like, on average, it just goes all the way down. And I think a lot of that is because people will just start a video and stop it. So they don't watch it all the way through. They'll be like, I don't want to watch this. And they'll like change a channel. That hurts the video. Or they'll like watch and they'll get to like the end screen and then drop out of that. Like, that happens a lot. But like, all that is not helpful for videos. Like, what all YouTubers want is watch time. That is the magic word. So yeah, if you have a YouTube channel, that's what you kind of hope for. You want people to kind of like stay watching through the whole thing. And if you don't have a YouTube channel, you just watch a lot of YouTube, and you want to help support videos, watch to the end. That's the way to do it. Unless it's terrible, then like, I totally understand. I mean, that's what I watch YouTube videos all the time. And like, if I'm watching it, like, I try, if it's something I really like, I'll give them like the extra like 20 seconds at the end, when they're like pitching their stuff, not to drop off, because I know that does end up helping. Okay, I think that Maria W says, so outros are a terrible idea, basically. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the outro is good in the sense that although you lose the watch time, you also can pitch things that can help in another way. So you can gain subscribers by pitching that. Please subscribe, click the bell, click like, click comment. Like, that does actually help when you say that on screen. It's something I don't like going heavy-handed with it. Like, people are like, smash that like button. Like, I try not to push too hard, because I think it's kind of annoying when people push really hard on that. But a little nudge, like polite, like, hey, don't forget, subscribe, like that, or check out the Patreon page, like that does end up helping. So that's where an outro video is good. An outro is good, but in general, probably better not to. But it's all a balancing act. And on that note, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to try to do another stream next month. It's been a couple months since I did the last one on this channel, but it's been really crazy just trying to get these videos out for the Banana Saga and moving. It's been a lot, but things are going to ease up a little bit. So I should see you in a stream next month. And stay tuned on what day is it? Sunday. Sunday will be a not Banana Saga video, but if you are not up to date on the banana videos from Iceland, I put a link to those in the description. Please click that. watch those. It is a good series, and it's going to get better as it goes along. But it's going to be a little while to the next one. All right, see you next time, guys. Thank you so much. Till then. Okay. Bye, guys.